Our target owner is someone who maybe they are an educator or a musician, maybe someone who's been in corporate America and is looking for the next chapter. Definitely someone who's very much community-based.
Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones, and we are about empowering your passion with purpose. Thanks so much for joining us today. I am so excited. We really have a trailblazer in our midst, and I'm looking forward to our conversation. I have Dr. Talonda Thomas. She's an entrepreneur, she's an educator, and she's a visionary behind New York Musician Center, NYMC. She is the first Black woman-owned franchise music education business in the United States. I mean, that is something, and I am so excited to be able to talk with you today. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, so when I got the information about what you're doing, I was really just intrigued, and so like I said, I am excited just to kind of take a deep dive to find out how you got started. And I want you to share with our viewers what motivated you to start New York Musician Center.
Yeah, so I would say what motivated me almost 20 years ago is probably different than what motivates me now. So when I first got here to New York City, I arrived as a 20-year-old single mom, and I realized very quickly I was here on just a dream, but I had no income, nothing, and I realized very quickly that I needed to pay rent. And so
expensive rent, I'm sure.
Expensive rent at that. So I learned very quickly that I could take a passion and something I knew how to do, and at that time monetize it. And for me, that's how NYMC got started, because I learned that I could take something like that. And, at that time I was teaching music lessons right in my living room to make a living. And I ended up trying to get more customers. It really never worked out because, like most new entrepreneurs, I had no idea what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up getting a contract with the Boys and Girls Club, and that went great. But then again, things didn't work out for the long term. So I went back to my fallback plan, which was the public school system. And I was a public school music teacher, teaching sixth grade, and then, actually loved sixth grade, and then turned administrator. But before then, I remember working so hard one year, and it was probably maybe my second or third year in education, and I think I put on like 17 concerts that year, and yes, 17. But I remember in the month of May that I got called in, and they said, "We know that you're doing great, but just so you know, if the budget doesn't pass, there's a very good chance that you will not have a position for next year because we won't have the budget for it." And it was at that moment that I realized I never wanted to again be put in a position where someone else had control over my destiny. So I ended up going out, renting out a space that we're still currently in almost 15 years later.
Wow.
But the joke was on me because I went out and rented that space, and then 2 weeks later found out the budget passed. So I got stuck with a very full-time job as well as a very full-time business as well. So
goodness gracious.
That's how I landed here.
So you were a music teacher, and an administrator after teaching for a little bit. Did you keep you kept both? You would just keep keeping both. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. What made you take the leap to do this full time?
Yeah. So I was burning the candle at both ends, and but what I loved about having both of those roles is that it really required me to put together really great systems in place for the people who were running the music school in my absence. And I had no idea at the time that I was actually writing the scripts for a franchise system. And so I left the school system, and then I ended up being asked to come back, and so I helped them get through COVID, and then I decided, you know what, I want to open up another location. I can't do that unless I, give my time to my employees and that full time to the business. And so that's when we opened up our second location and really started thinking about the idea of franchising. And I went into business coaching, and all those things I realized led up to exactly what you need to be in order to have a great franchise system.
Right. And what makes NYMC different from traditional music schools? Because it is a music school, correct?
It is a music school.
And how do you center community and empowerment in your programs?
Yeah, so we're very different from other music schools because when you go to a traditional music school, you get just music lessons. We are definitely an experience school, and people come to us from near and far for our experiences. So, for example, we have red carpet events for our students. We put on about 40 shows each year.
Oh, wow.
And when I say they walk the red carpet, I mean they walk the red carpet. We perform at Carnegie Hall each year and have a great relationship with them, along with our international performance tours that we do. So last year we performed in Italy, and next month we're heading to Paris with our students to perform. And there's just so many additional things that they get being a part of us because they get to feel like they are a celebrity, like they are as important as they really are to gain the confidence and skills that they can use in any part of life. But we are centered around community. Everything that we do is community-based. It is about reaching out, and we are bringing up the leaders of tomorrow. And so that's something that's really important to us. And the mentorship piece as well is really, really important to, because that's what brought me into music. It was the fact that having a great mentor as a music teacher is what got me through to here.
Right. Yeah, I had read a little bit. I think I was probably from your website, and you had shared that if not for the mentor and the music, you might not have been as successul as you are right now.
Absolutely.
You know, and that mentorship, I think sometimes is so, it's not always top of mind when you're thinking about children and how important that is. Right. If you're in a business, you have a business mentor. Students need, or children need, mentors as well. So I love that you work with the Boys and Girls Club also.
Yeah,
so,
we used to.
Right?
Now, yes, we used to. Now
I
have a foundation. Now we try and give to students, and we have many students who study music for free. But really, we just try and provide them as many opportunities that they would never receive.
Italy. Come on.
It was great.
So you have students from all over.
We have students
from the tri-state area.
From the tri-state area, yes. Right now we have 1,100 students who come to our 2 corporate locations each week for music lessons.
That's a lot of students.
That's a lot of students.
Wow.
Yes. And we have our first franchisee who's opening up this fall in East Meadow, and so we're definitely growing.
Yeah, we're going to dive into the franchise piece of it because that's fascinating, and being the first Black woman to own a music type franchise in the United States is incredible. So as you establish yourself in both business and music education, what systematic or structural barriers did you encounter, and how does your franchise model strategically address those challenges?
We had a lot of challenges, and I would say number one was capital. Women, but especially minorities, have very little access to capital for business, and you can't just go to a bank and ask for a business loan. That's not how it works. And so that was a huge hurdle, along with that mentorship piece that we talked about. But not even just mentorship, but getting the right mentorship, because what I found along the way is that there are people who don't want to see you exceed a certain level of growth. They want to see you kind of cap to a certain level. And so that was very important for me to overcome that. And representation really matters. And so I think that being a part of a system like this, they have support, true support. Our people, we have about 70 teachers who work for us. And even my first franchisee, I'm glad she's a minority woman. And we have representation. We have systems in place where they don't have to go out and figure it out. I've done the hard work for them.
Exactly.
And
You've done it.
yes, and gained a lot of access to vendors who want to work with people who they trust our brand and they trust that a Black woman can do it, and that a woman can do it, or anyone can do it. And so if I could do it and write it out for somebody else, then they could definitely do it. But most importantly, they don't have to do it by themselves. We're not just handing them a blue book, a blueprint. They actually are going with me on that journey. We're with them through that.
And so when you're talking about a person who wants to franchise, right? What is the target? Like, who is your ideal candidate or owner for a franchise?
So I would say our target owner is someone who maybe they are an educator or a musician, maybe someone who's been in corporate America and is looking for the next chapter. Definitely someone who's very much community-based. And for me, I always say, your skills don't matter, your character comes first. And so if you can have a great character and you're coachable and you've got some heart and hustle, then you can do great. But we're talking about people between the ages of about maybe 35 to 55, but professionals who don't want to be capped on their success and are looking for a great opportunity to be a part of a great movement.
How do you mentioned it a little bit, like you have that mentorship piece to it, but what are the benefits of having a NYMC franchise?
You get the answers. That's the benefit. You get the answers. You have coaches working with you right now. The best part about being one of our first franchisees is that you get me.
Right.
So
one-on-one.
Literally one-on-one.
And this isn't an award-winning organization.
Absolutely.
So,
So I love working with our current franchisee and really being able to walk them through step by step. I mean, before I came here today, we're texting about the lease and things like that, and things that I had to go through on my own, and a lot of business owners, they have to do it by themselves. But at this point, they don't have to do that. They get constant support. They get our systems. They have everything rolled out for them, so there's no guesswork. You don't have to figure out, how do I advertise and flounder for a while. You get all of that. So that way, day one, you can go and start being successful.
Hit the ground running.
Absolutely.
Really. Now, so where do you see this evolving to?
Yeah, this is going to be a big brand.
Yeah.
It's definitely a legacy brand. Even though I do have my son working with me, I'm sure that this is something that will outlive me. And I think that's important because even though I would love to see hundreds and hundreds and ideally one day 1,000 locations internationally, I love that it gives an opportunity for people to be able to create generational wealth for their families. Traditionally, a lot of first-time franchisees are first-time business owners, and they don't see business owners in their family. And I know within our community, a lot of people say play it safe and go out and be a nurse or a teacher or that's what I was taught.
That's right.
And that's so. Yeah. In order to really be able to make an impact and to be able to take whatever your passion is and whatever you want to bring to your community through the arts, and to be able to see that realized easier than trying to struggle through it. I think that it's wonderful. It's a great opportunity for people.
Yeah, it really is. I would say in reference to, because you had mentioned it before, like the capital. Yes. So the franchisee, the people who want to franchise, want to be an owner, how do they, is it hard for them to navigate that, or do you help them with that during that process of becoming a franchise?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of people that pull income from all sorts of different places. And one of the best things and most important things about being a business owner is you have to learn how to be resourceful. And sometimes we don't realize how many resources that we do have. And so we do first walk them through trying to look at what resources that they do have. But we have several partners that we work with if they're looking to pull from funds from their 401k, or if they're looking to get business lending. We're able to help them get that established as well. So we have these for them. They don't have to go out searching, and you get told no enough times and you're going to start to believe it from people. So we have those things set up for them. So we walk them through from initially seeing, as we evaluate them, are they a candidate who, is ready? Are they someone who maybe they need a little bit more time and to figure out their different resources? Do they want to take out a loan to get started? Or, again, people don't realize how many resources that they really do have around them.
Absolutely. Untapped.
Very untapped. Absolutely.
And the power behind this is they have you to be able to support them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. You talked earlier about budget cuts, right? And how that was a scary thing. I was an educator for 30 years.
Oh, so you know.
I know. I was a business teacher. So that's another, that's one of those subjects where, if it goes, sorry.
Right.
So every year it was like, okay, do I have a job? And then I did something different to make sure that I could keep being an educator. But I understand that is a challenge. So what kind of changes would you like to see in music education, especially when it comes to access and representation?
In music and education in general, I would say from the public school standpoint, we're here to be a support to them because there needs to be a whole lot more, culturally responsive teaching to them. Oftentimes they're just taught, you go learn the classical way, you go sing this song that was written by this person, and there's no historical context, there's no taking into account the history of a child, the music that they listen to and tapping into that's what makes a big difference for children. So that's why some music schools focus on certain genres. You only can learn this specific type of music, but we actually have an approach that is student-centered, and it focuses on where the student is. And we also have a music therapy program so that if there are students who have certain challenges, that they can come make music as well. So we try and meet them where they are, but I would like to see more of that for music education and really pulling out where the students are and showing them where they actually can be instead of just a cookie cutter approach.
Wow. So the students that come to you, mostly all of them are involved in their school
some are,
in some kind of way?
Some are, some are not. Some go to even private schools here on Long Island that don't have music programs. Some are homeschooled. We've got students from all over the place, but they represent so many different communities, and the parents love that they can explore their history, their desires, their passions through the arts with us.
And I could see how it could be for the students, how them coming from so many different places and so many different backgrounds, what kind of great environment that must foster within your school. Schools.
Yeah, and it creates such long-term relationships because I even think about last year when we had our tour in Italy and all the students met each other and they just had a pool party yesterday together, and so they just make such great connections and they're all so different.
Yeah, that is a learning for them and an experience that they'll have for the rest of their life.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what advice do you have for other educators or creatives who are thinking about turning their passion into a scalable business model?
I would say that they first need to do their due diligence, look into whatever industry, whether it be music or whatever it is, see what's out there, who's doing it well. The great thing about franchising, even though I would say there's not a lot of representation of people who look like me, it's a very giving community, and they will let you know, listen, there's no secrets, like business is business, and they're willing to share. So I would tell them, do your due diligence, make sure that this is a business that will even work. Is someone else doing it? How can you do it better? And then how can you get the support that you need to make it happen?
It's just, it's so commendable that you took really a risk. And
a lot of risk.
Right? And stepped out on faith to be able to create such a wonderful, wonderful experience for children. So thank you for that.
Thank you, yeah.
So we have a quick fire round. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then you just let me know.
You got it.
All right. So one song that always motivates you.
Who runs the world? Girls.
Girls. I love that.
Yep.
Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Dream bigger. I think that we're told to dream big, and that's not enough. Dreaming big sometimes for someone might mean, okay, just reaching the next level that I've been really hoping for. But people don't realize that there's a whole world that's even bigger. And so I would say whatever it is that you're dreaming of or thinking of, just know not only are you capable of achieving it, but it can be so much bigger and better if you just believe in it and go.
And do it.
And do it, yeah.
One thing every woman entrepreneur should stop doing today.
I think every woman entrepreneur should stop listening to people who have not achieved what they're looking to achieve. I think that oftentimes we will just go to anyone for advice, or people who we love, who we think have our best interests, who really may just be trying to keep us safe and avoid risk. But I think that going out and seeking people who have already achieved it, because many of them, they're looking to turn around and pass it back on and assist someone else getting there too.
Yeah, it always, because I do this too, I'm asking people what they may think, but they really haven't done it.
Right. We're taking a poll, we're polling.
So find those individuals who have mastered whatever it is you're trying to do.
That's right.
Right? A word you live by when it comes to purpose.
I would say that a word that I live by when it comes to purpose is, that's a good one. I mean, I think I live more by mantras than by purpose, but so I'm going to have to give a mantra instead, to say that I'm here to add value to other people, and that gives me purpose to know that you have to figure out what it is that you're here for, so that you can get that, whatever you believe, that good, well done, faithful servant, and whatever your highest level is. I think that's really important to know what that is. For me, that's you add value. I'm here to add value to other people.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great mantra to live by for sure. Anybody that adds, and you see it in the work that you do
every day.
Right.
Yeah. It's great.
So rewarding.
It's so rewarding. I was at work today and to have employees say, "Oh, Dr. Thomas, can I have a hug, please?" Or it's not like, "Thank you so much for what you do." As an entrepreneur, you have the ability to change the lives for so many people, and they, some are really, really grateful for it.
That is rewarding. It's like education, right? It's a rewarding job. I say that it's one of the best jobs in the world because of that reward.
Absolutely.
Every day is not that reward.
No. But see, that's why we have things like recitals in Carnegie Hall, because then you can sit back and see your hard work.
It has been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you.
This NYMC is fabulous. And for people who want to stay connected with you, either they want to, because there's some other things that you do as well, how can they stay in contact with you? And if they want to become a franchise owner, how can they reach out to you? You can let them know right in that camera there.
You can reach out to us. First, you can visit for more information at NYMCmusicfranchise.com. That's NYMCmusicfranchise.com. You could also reach out to us online. You can reach me at TThomas@NYMCmusic.com, or follow us on Instagram at New York Musician Center. We'll be so happy. I'll be so happy to get in touch with you, and I'd love to tell you more about our franchise opportunity.
Awesome. Dr. Thomas, thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, I want everybody to make sure that you stay in contact with Dr. Thomas. She is doing extraordinary things. If you're interested in having your own franchise, please reach out. And as I said before, she's doing some amazing things, so you can reach out to her as well. And again, I just want to thank you. And I want to thank everybody for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on social media so you will never miss an episode.